yeah, the last 4K was really hard. But I think what I remember most about it was going for a run through the Auckland Park on Saturday and just seeing like Melbourne come alive with so many people running, and then just that energy on the start line. It was yeah, that's probably one of the most special parts. So it's good to be here with you all, and good luck for those running tomorrow. Alright, we're going to start with quick fire questions. Race day sock, ankle length or quarter length?
Yeah, I'm with the. I changed, but I'm not the quarter.
I'm an ankle start, so
And your interval length for when you take a gel, like what do you work on?
Every 5K.
well, yeah, probably somewhere like 5K, but I need down to the last 2 days, so we
That's a lot of gels. Alright, so warming up, what song are you going to go to on Sunday? What's your jam?
No music for me, just noise.
Yeah, no music. I try not to be doing lots of people that are running it, but yeah, maybe I'll start singing this song for the last 2 days just to get there.
Alright, so, and your last, just tell us about your last key session, what it was coming into the race.
Yeah, so what I did probably 2 weeks ago was 1 hour warm up, easy pace, into 8K threshold, 1K float, 20 minutes of 1 minute hard, 1 minute float, 1K float, and then 5K at start and go.
That sounds hard.
It sounds rough. No, about 2 weeks ago I did not do that session. I did about 25-minute warm up and then went into a 20-minute 8-minute marathon pace, a couple of minutes break, and then into 3 by 2-minute half marathon pace with 2 minutes of
Alright, I've got some over or unders. Hassan, over or under 218?
Over.
I'm going to say under.
Right, and Kipchoge, I've heard he's in good shape, but over or under 206.30?
Over. I'm negative, sorry.
He's missing. I'm going to say under. Come on. I reckon you're great.
Alright, Brett, you've been in the sport a long time, World Juniors 2010 1500, 2016 Olympic final 5000, 2022 Old Move to the Road, Australian record marathon. Been in the sport a long time. Like, what are you seeing? Running is moving. Like, tell us about that. What are you seeing?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like back in the day when we were running on the track, no one really cared. Like we were running Melbourne Track Classic, and there'd be a few hundred people there. And now you go to Motor Planning Classic, and there's nearly 10,000 people. So the interest in sport is ridiculous, and you can see it out there this morning. The amount of run groups and just people out there ready for the weekend. It is this boom. Like it's great having a coaching business in the running space because we've got to influence the people all the time. But yeah, it's just so good, and it's popular now, which is great.
And like we do a professional athlete lens, we've seen like Sunday race, Night Melbourne Marathon selling out. There's a transfer period where you can swap out. Like there's so much demand. What does that mean for the professional side of athletics? Are we going to see more investment? The women are already on fire in the marathon. We're going to see more men, 208, 209. Do you think there's going to be a lot more opportunities and will the scene look different in the next 5 years?
For sure. I think it's starting to happen in the men's. Like no one broke 210 until 2022, and now there's 5 guys doing it. So it is starting to happen. You have guys this weekend running their first marathons who are elite half marathon runners, and they're 23 and they're running a marathon. But that didn't happen. Everyone used to wait. So people are going earlier. It just means the standard's going to lift. There's $30,000 for the winner for the first Australian on Sunday. So yeah, things are having that effect. It's just going to flow on for years.
Lydia, this is your 10th year of running the marathon. How have you seen the growth and the transformation of running this time?
Yeah, it's been like pretty incredible to not only witness but be part of it as well. I think just seeing the amount of women get into our sport 10 years ago, I feel like a lot of women felt quite intimidated by the sport of running, and there was kind of like the stigma that you had to look a certain way or run a certain pace And then on top of that, myself personally 10 years ago, I was 25 years old. I was obsessed with running, taking it incredibly seriously, but I knew nothing about my own body and my physiology, and I went through a huge learning journey back between 2015 and 2018, like just learning about my hormones, my cycle, and the impact of that on my performance, and then being able to take that into my own training, start adapting my training around my physiology and actually doing training that's made for women, completely changed not only my performance. I went to go on to break every single PB after training around my cycle, but also to take the education and actually provide it to other women and start educating other women. Not only should every woman know about their body, but to use running as my voice and our voice to be able to change the way women know about themselves and feel about themselves has been incredible. So now we just have this huge army of women running around Australia who also know how their bodies function. Is incredibly empowering. So it's been amazing.
Yeah, awesome. All right, we're going to dive into some racing now. Brett, how's the shape look? We want to know.
I'm in good shape. I'm excited. I think, I don't know, I just feel like I'm in a good mood, which I haven't really in a good mood ever. So I think that has to be a good sign. But yeah, this morning, I woke up at 6:30 and I was like, okay, this time tomorrow I'll be racing. I was feeling in a good mood. I was like, okay, I have to remember this race is going to be very hard. There's going to be points where it's going to be challenging. I'm going to have to work out a way to overcome that. It's not just going to be this fairy tale run. I know that. But yeah, I feel ready. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to hopefully run quick.
Was there something in training, whether it's like a long run or a key session, what's your signal to say, yeah, all right, I'm ready, in your marathon build, what's that important part where I'm on?
Yeah, that session I talked about, that was the best I've ever done it. So, which doesn't always mean everything, and also just the way that the running has felt. Every time I've stepped out the door, it's just I just feel good. Where you can get very tired in a marathon block, but this time it just felt like I was just recovering really well, and just every run was enjoyable. So, I just feel like I'm ready to go.
Obviously, got Kipchoge in the race. You talked about the Australian only prize money. We're a world major. How do you, stick to your, how do you plan for the race in terms of, we know the marathon is percentages and 1% of the way you can go really bad. How do you approach the race with the Australian, but also wanting to finish as hard as you can?
Yeah, I do have a habit of putting it on the line or risking it, and it doesn't always come off. So I have to be careful about tomorrow. Of course, I want to be first Australian, but I want to finish as high as I can in the race. But I don't want to get carried away and end up blowing myself up and getting passed by 6 Australians. So, but I'm confident I can run a good race, and if I run how I've been training, I'll finish high and win the Australian and hopefully finish high in the race.
For the players in the crowd who are running the marathon tomorrow, what's your tip around sort of managing the start line and the pace and setting your race up to obviously, come to the finish line feeling good and not like an elephant sitting on your head?
You probably will feel that no matter what, but you got to have a good race plan and really be disciplined with it. It's so easy to get carried away with the support we're going to have and just all the people on the course, and that first 5K is going to be rapid. So you need to have in the back of your head, okay, I've got 42 kilometers ahead of me, be smart here and stick to my race plan but then enjoy the atmosphere at the same time.
Right, Lydia. The women's race is going to be fire. You got Hassan, Kozgai, and in Australia we're in a really golden period of women's distance running. We're probably going to have 3 girls trying to break the Australian record in Valencia later in the year. Just talk about, we've got Leanne Pompiani, Jess Stenson, and Lisa Wakeman on the weekend. Just the excitement on the start line and being part of that. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, it feels pretty surreal to be lining up with such icons in sport. I can't really believe they get the opportunity to do this. I remember when I ran New York Marathon in 2018, I got to warm up with Shalane Flanagan, and I was like completely mind blown. So yeah, it's just a real privilege to be able to do that and run, maybe not with them, but behind them slightly, and feel like I'm getting held along by them. It's amazing.
Post my career, I started transitioning coaching. I coach a lot of young girls at the moment. Just had national cross on the weekend. How important is it for not only young women, but just women in general, to have those kind of role models just to show that they're not limited?
It's honestly everything. I think back to my high school running, and I had an amazing high school coach who was an 800 metre Commonwealth Games champion. Her name was Rosemary Wright, and she was also my PE teacher. And she took me under her wing when I was about 11 years old, and she taught me so much at high school in those really, iconic times where you're learning so much about your body, who you are, and what you want to do in your life. And she instilled so many values that we now carry through any and everything I do in my own coaching. And I'll never forget the impact that she had on me, and so it is so important to have those people around you and to have those people to look up to, and they might not necessarily be Olympic champions, but people who are just doing right by other people and driving people in the right way, motivating them in the right way to believe in their bodies and believe in themselves to chase their goals, whether that's running or not. Those people are so important, and it's amazing to see so many, particularly people in the beauty community, and we've got some amazing women who are out there in the community every week, just leading women and teaching other women about themselves, and making such a difference.
That's a great message. I think that's why I love coaching. It's the influence you have not only on the track or on the roads, but you have in their lives. And I go to training and I'm learning a lot about at the time I turn recruit or something. That seems to be all the chat at my training session. So that's our questions for this morning. Do we want to throw to some crowd now? Get some, if anyone from the crowd has some questions for us too.
The question is for both of you. So how you are managing your sleep during your workouts after workouts in your training?
I am if anybody knows me, I'm obsessed with tracking my sleep. So I track my sleep on my Apple Watch, and every morning when I wake up, it's the first thing I do is listen to me hours of sleeping. And if I don't get my 8 plus hours, then I'll be anything during the day. So sleep for me is really important. I'm very honoured that I can manage my own time and go and have sleep after training if I need to. But it's one of the most important performance enhancers and making sure you do it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm the same. I track my sleep every single night. Making sure I'm getting good sleep. We're taking things like magnesium to promote good sleep, and just getting to bed early. And try not to be on my phone and stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
Matt, I'm just going to throw a question out there as well. Just over here. No, super fast. Brett, what shoes are you running in the weekend and why?
Alpha Flies. I'm big into the Alpha Flies at the moment. I was switching between Vaporfly and Alpha Fly, but at the moment I'm just fully Alpha Fly. I think what you get in the after 30k in the marathon is better in Alpha Fly than in Vaporfly.
Anyone else?
This is a question for both of you guys. Any tips on a runner's mindset in trusting the process as a beginner? Because I think early on you get the newbie gains and your load just can easily double, and you put on the tank like an Alpha Fly, you're running maybe 30 seconds quicker than you need to. Any advice for those who are starting out in their running journey and who maybe want longevity in running? Because I'm sure you've seen the injuries from overrunning.
Yeah, I think you have to always be thinking long term. It's not going to come quick, so and it's not going to just keep going like this. You have to expect it to be up and down, and just being patient. Remember why you're doing it. You're doing it for enjoyment. So the good runs, they're the bonuses. So if you're having bad days, just don't worry. There's going to be good ones around the corner.
Yeah, just agree with everything Rick said. Just being completely patient with yourself and taking a long-term approach. They say on average it takes about 8 years of consistent training to reach your potential. So if this is your first marathon and you've only been running for a year, know that there is so much more in the tank. It doesn't have to be the fastest marathon But also for those beginners who are just getting into it, like find a plan and follow a plan. We've got heaps of great plans for the night curriculum that can actually just like give you the right guidance to make sure that you are doing too much or you're doing enough to make progress. So having a plan just makes you not only motivated, but it gives you the right guidance to get it as well.
Any other questions? Hand up. I'll run over to you. Yes, sir. Oh, hang on.
So like you've just finished the race, and what's your first drink of choice and your first food of choice?
Fireballs, eh, Grace? Drink of choice. It's a hard one. I am probably just going to be doubling down on water, to be honest. I really need to drink water, of course, as well. So I am looking forward to a donut. Like, it's probably like the one thing that I'll be running straight to after the race is a donut. But yeah, just whatever liquids I can get into the finish line.
I haven't been drinking too much lately, so I'm smoking for a beer. I'll be at the better be 10 at 10:30 if anyone wants to meet me there.
Speaking of drink, what's the bar that you go to?
Ask for his number at this point.
I'm open for anything, like, I'll be on all the bars.
Any other questions? Here you go, Steve.
This one's for Liz. How you touched on running through your cycle and anything specifically, because this is a question for my wife and then for me, how do I support my wife or girlfriend or partner through her cycle? How do you be kind to yourself through it all specifically?
Yeah, great question. The first thing that I try to encourage people who menstruate to do is like track their cycles and actually understand where you're at in your cycle and then understand your experience with your cycle. We know that everybody experiences their cycles differently, so you can't take a generic approach and apply it to everyone, but learning where you're at in your cycle and how those fluctuations of your hormones actually impact you is really important. Knowing when maybe you feel slightly more energized or maybe when you're not recovering so well, and then maybe the times where you do want to sit in bed and eat ice cream, that can be different for everybody. But yeah, you mentioned compassion, and that is probably one of the most important aspects of understanding your body. I used to not feel great in some training sessions, or maybe not race well, and then beat myself up about it, and then go and train, maybe try and train harder, or not recover as well, and it's actually the opposite to what I need. Once I understood where I was in my body and how my body was working for me, I started to just be a bit kinder to myself and be like, it's okay if you don't hit the splits today because you're at this certain time, your body's actually functioning for you, and having a cycle and having a period is actually so important for women's health and our performance athletes. So yeah, you have to be compassionate towards yourself, but tracking your cycle and understanding how your experience has been is things you can do for yourself as someone who has gone through this yourself.
Amazing. Any more questions?
Thank you and good luck tomorrow. I think just the job that we're here is going to be awesome, and I think to have a world major in Sydney, it's got the landscape and there's going to be some awesome drone shots and stuff. So yeah, good luck tomorrow, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks, Brett. Thanks, Liz. And thank you all for being here. Thanks for coming out. It's been an absolute pleasure running.